You, Compo.
Good morning, everyone. We're live.
Good morning,
There.
team. Hi.
Happy New Year, Marie and Dana.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Andy and I have talked a number of times. What do you got going on there? Oh, you got your little...
Oh, Dana's still partying.
Got my little thing.
Party
Don't
never-
know where I am, what day it is, but
Party
I'm
never
here.
ends. Party never ends at her house.
Right. It seems that way, right?
Oh, Don's already awake with us. Good morning, Don. Happy New Year.
Everybody
Our
good?
pals.
Everybody
Everybody's
okay?
good. Yes. I don't hear the station anymore. Do you guys?
I don't
No.
hear the station.
Okay,
No.
cool.
The Muscular Dystrophy
All we have to do is say that. And
Neuromuscular disease. The pandemic places more than 200,000 adults and children with muscular dystrophy at greater risk.
Breathing is often hard when you live with a neuromuscular disease, but the Muscular Dystrophy Association is here to help.
MD is what ensures they receive critical medical care at one of over 150 care centers across the U.S.
During COVID-19, kids like me are at a greater risk.
The Muscular Dystrophy Association needs your support now more than ever.
COVID-19 woke up. To learn
One
how
of our
you can help,
close pals
please
waking
visit
up.
Yeah.
helpmda.org.
Happy New Year, everyone. Good
Thank
morning.
Are you finding it harder to talk to your friends?
New
When working
Year.
home, is your stress level making you uncomfortable? Do you feel like your life is out of control? Has hurting yourself crossed your mind? Depression affects
That sounds
12
like a
million
woman
adult
I used
women
to work
each
with.
year. That's 1 out of every 8 of us. Suicide is preventable, and save.org can help. Let's get you back where you want to be. To learn more about suicide prevention, visit save.org.
Okay, Don.
The Paul W. Smith Show, News Talk 760, WJR.
Good Monday morning to you. Happy New Year. It's the 4th of January, the 4th day of 2021. There are 361 days left in the year to get it right.
Whew.
Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift, and we're off like a herd of turtles. Starting the new year with a Donald Trump on the phone pressuring somebody's story. Talk of COVID-19 and where the heck's the vaccine and when do we get ours? And what else? The only thing we don't have is an election. Oh, I'm sorry. We do have an election. I think it's tomorrow in Georgia. I don't know. And I kind of don't care because we're starting the new year and we're putting all of that behind us. That's what I'm hoping. I hope you had a nice holiday. I hope you're safe. I hope you're still healthy. And I'm glad we're all together again and we're on the road because, boy, that whole last part of the year was Ann and I especially were gone a lot. The last 2 weeks we were gone and the team hasn't been together. We're happy to be back together. Marie Osborne doing a fabulous job with our news. We appreciate that, Marie. Thank you very much.
Happy New Year, everybody.
And a happy new year to you. Dana Clark has not stopped partying, although she looks a little...
New Year.
I was going to say, she looked a little subdued, but now you know the rest of the story. Brian Morton is manning the shop. He is holding down the fort. Use whatever you want to use here to cliche, but he is in the Golden Tower of the Fisher Building, the only one of us in the Golden Tower of the Fisher Building right now. Mike Kim alongside and helping out along the way, and of course running the show by the clock, the grandfather's clock, our executive producer, Ann Thomas.
Good morning, Deb. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. I appreciated your, I think it was your Christmas gathering with the family, or maybe it was New Year's too, but at least your Christmas gathering with the family in the garage.
Poor
In the
parent.
garage, yeah.
This is a Christmas and New Year's we will never forget as hard as we try to.
And they loved it. It was
Oh, I'm sure everyone had a good time. Any way you can get together or could get together and still be safe. I suspect there are people looking at calendars now, counting from their Christmas family gathering or New Year's gathering. And what is it? What do you have to get past? a week, 2 weeks? What do you have to?
Yeah, 10 days to
Yeah.
2 weeks, they
Yeah.
said.
10 days to 2 weeks. And if nobody's sick, you say, hey, we had a COVID-free party. And then you celebrate with another party, and
Right.
then everyone gets COVID. So anyway, I'm glad everybody's safe and everybody's okay. And we will try to commence with our relentless positive radio. But unfortunately, I watched it last night in the news, and then Brian Morton sent me cuts. You know, the funniest thing is about this is nobody even asks anymore, how in the world did we get such high quality cuts of the president on a private phone call?
I did. I wondered about that last
Good.
night.
Good, because generally speaking, the news media didn't say a word about it. They just played them and said, well, the president was putting the squeeze on in Georgia. And they had these fabulous quality phone conversations. What's that?
I wondered if it was some type of a Zoom call. It's a very strong quality.
Yeah, I don't
know.
think he was zooming with the guys he was trying to say, no, you got to. The funniest thing was the line where he says, I just need to find 11,000 votes. The person doing the closed captioning put, I just need to buy 11,000 votes. And they did it twice. And I just thought it was hilarious. Anyway, we do have a little business to take care of on this beautiful Monday morning.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International.
It's a new year, but for kids in poverty around the world, things are still desperate. Join Compassion with your one-time $40 gift to provide a COVID relief kit to a family in poverty. Text the word GIVE to 83393. That's GIVE to 83393.
And our WJR Traffic and Weather first, and Miss Dana Clark.
Traffic First, sponsored by North Bloomfield Properties. If you're looking for a place to call home, let North Bloomfield Properties find the best place for you and your family. They also provide pre-screened quality tenants to their property owners. They love to match good people to good homes. Contact them today, northbloomfield.com. 94 westbound after Division Road, a disabled vehicle is blocking the left shoulder. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by the Carpenters Labor Management Partnership Team. Hire the Carpenter LMPT contractors for your next construction project. Their workforce is the best in Michigan. Professional, safety conscious, and craft trained for every project. Hire the Carpenters LMPT contractors today. Call 877-477-LMPT. That's 877-477-LMPT.
Overcast skies today, highs in the low to mid 30s. Cloudy tonight, a few flurries, even a light snow shower possible overnight, 28. A few flurries tomorrow, otherwise cloudy skies, highs mid 30s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ken Boone on News Talk 760 WJR.
All righty, Ken, thank you very, very much. It is exactly as we thought it would be when we woke up this morning. Cold. 34 degrees is one of the readings that I have. So it's about 34 wherever you might be at this moment. Meanwhile, this moment is just about 5:45. Rush Limbaugh with us from noon till 3, Monday through Friday, and he stops by first thing in the morning, like right now.
Last Sunday, passengers on a Queens, New York subway saw a horror show. 3 young men began arguing on the train. The argument got physical, spilled out onto the platform. Suddenly, one of the men pulled out a gun and shot another guy he was fighting. The victim took a bullet to the head and then 5 more shots. Now, this all took place in broad daylight, passengers capturing the fight on their phones. When it was over, the 20-year-old victim was dead. The shooter was apprehended by police. It turns out that the gunman is a member of MS-13, the extremely violent street gang that routinely commits murder and other horrible crimes. The thugs that President Trump warned are truly bad hombres. The gang members that Speaker Pelosi defended as having sparks of divinity. Now, folks, this is New York. It's a sanctuary city for every kind of criminal, but not sanctuary for babies in the womb. This is all about illegal immigration and the Democrats not wanting to stop it. MS-13 gangs is what you get in part.
Rush Limbaugh, noon to 3 today, right here on WJR. I went on vacation, and these last 2 weeks were actual vacation time. I try not to pay attention too much to the news. That's working. But I always like to read the New York Post because it's just entertaining the way they present the news. But the New York Post, maybe the other New York papers too, but I haven't looked at them. They can't leave this story about Hilaria Baldwin alone. And you guys, do you guys even follow it at all?
Unbelievable story.
But it's every day.
I know.
In the newspaper. There's something every day about Hilaria Baldwin.
Hilaria. And
how could we ever be so, I don't know, who cares? Who cares?
Inside Edition is also, it's
I can only imagine. That's
heavy rotation.
The New York Post of television, the Inside Edition. Yes, I am a white girl. It's like endless. I've never seen anything quite like it. So, and he's not a particularly nice guy, so you don't feel terribly sorry for Alec Baldwin. He's kind of a loose cannon, but I don't understand so this is a woman who was actually born in the United States, but pretended she was born in Spain and had a fake accent all of her life. Well, after high school, because they've trotted out 15,000 people that went to high school with her, said, what? Her name's Hillary. It's not Hilaria, it's Hillary. And she doesn't have an accent. Well, she used that accent very well to catch Alec Baldwin, and she really caught him because they've had 5 kids together.
Yeah.
And of course, that leads the New York Post to saying, Alec, what else is she faking? Who cares? I don't know. It's astonishing how that is a story that just keeps going on and on. Today is National Spaghetti Day.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. I love good spaghetti.
Yes.
With meatballs. I'm definitely a meatball eater.
Okay.
You guys like spaghetti?
Oh, yes. Love spaghetti. Had that this past week.
We have it every week on Sunday.
Oh.
Every Sunday.
We are old school.
Well, I thought Wednesday was Prince Spaghetti Day.
Right.
Not in real Italian household. Not in real
Italians don't have Prince Spaghetti?
I don't think so.
No.
No, they have Marie Spaghetti.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Marie, is that served as a side dish every Sunday, or how is it served?
Oh no, it's the star of the
You're
show.
hearing the Paul W. Smith Show.
It's the
News
star
Talk
of the show.
760 WJR.
It is 5:49. A very good Monday morning to you. A happy new year, Relentless Positive Radio. And we just noted that today, January 4th, is National Spaghetti Day. We happen to have a spaghetti expert on staff, and we've asked for some of her expertise. Every Sunday is Spaghetti Day in the Osborne household, and Marie was just going through her spaghetti, which was I'm sure it's very, very good.
Yeah, well, we and we often make our own pasta.
I knew it. She was going to say that.
not every time, but we often do. And
Marie,
you know what? When you grow up eating that, it's very hard to eat something else. We also can tomatoes so that we have our own tomato sauces, and
just a day in the life.
Day in the life.
It's an act of love, you guys.
It's just the way it is.
It's an act of love.
Yes.
It is an act of love. And you look at cooking as an act of love. Maybe Dana and Ann do too. Kim does.
Oh,
Kim makes a chicken soup. We call it love soup. It's delicious. But on Spaghetti Day, I have to tell you, when I first left New York and went to Philadelphia, unexpectedly, I was talking to somebody on the show, because I did a mostly all call-in there, and somebody said, well, we put the gravy on the spaghetti, and we did, and I've got gravy. You put gravy on spaghetti? And I'm thinking, what am I hearing here? I don't even understand that. And it turned out there in Philly, in the old Italian section, they called the tomato sauce gravy.
That's an East Coast thing. It's not just Philly. It's in a lot of places on the East Coast. I know Long Island, there's a lot of people who call it gravy as well. And I can't hear it. I might have to plug my ears.
I was so intrigued by this that I actually called Bernie, my late brother Mark's wife, Bernie, who's all Italian, Bernie Abbott. And I said, Bernie, I put her on the air right away. Do you put gravy on your spaghetti? This is before I figured out what they meant. And she goes, no, I don't put gravy on our spaghetti. We put tomato sauce. And that's when the listeners called up and straightened me out that that's what the gravy was, the tomato sauce. It's like when a guy was talking to me on the air and he said, yeah, I'm selling steaks by the side of the road, and I go, you're selling steaks? Yeah, steaks. I'm selling steaks at my little shop along the side. You mean like T-bone steaks, New York strips? He goes, no, steaks. He meant cheesesteaks, the sandwiches.
Oh.
He had a sandwich shop by the side of the road, but he just referred to them as steaks. And, it just, kid from Monroe, none of this made any sense to me. So living in other places certainly was an education. By the way, I watched the Eagles lose last night. I have to tell you, I was kind of pulling for them because of my time in Philly, and Kim, because of growing up near there, was all over the Bills' big victory. They had a huge victory yesterday, Buffalo Bills. Now, as far as that goes, our Lions, formerly on WJR radio, had a kind of a day that summed up their season, sadly.
Tough loss, as the headline in the Detroit News says, Lions set franchise worst defensive marks in loss, but with relentless positive radio, secure top 7 pick in the NFL draft. Somebody, what's his name? God, I almost said Yo-Yo. Wjr was writing about the end of the Stafford era. Do we think that's what's happening? Yeah, that's interesting. What are you hearing about that, Dana?
Nothing.
Come on, you're sleeping with a guy who's all over sports.
We have not talked about the Lions at all, actually.
Really?
Mm-mm. Not the Lions. He's ready for hockey. That's what's
happening. Yeah, they just started
here.
this week. Yeah,
he's ready for hockey, so he doesn't. We don't talk about Matt Stafford much.
Really, that's interesting.
But I heard that too. That this may be, the time that Matt Stafford will, move on. And I thought,
to where?
Yeah, to where?
And on to where?
And how sad that,
It's like when we lost Verlander. We take these guys that are superstars.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they're on Detroit teams that either can't support them the way they need to be supported, or they can't lead the team the way they need to lead the team onto great victory. I'm not sure what it is with Matthew. I mean, he's thought of as a fabulous quarterback. Verlander's thought of as a fabulous pitcher, but they seem to have to go elsewhere, which is sad. I'd love to see. I don't understand why Bill Ford isn't involved with running the Lions or being a part of that. That's some kind of a family issue there. But I think his dad always thought that he would. I think that, and I think Bill thought he would. When his dad passed away, I think he thought he was passing on the baton to be involved with the Lions, but that didn't work out. Now, he might be happy he's not involved with the Lions now, because things have not gotten any better, unfortunately, in that period of time. And, we were very loyal and always will be loyal to the Lions, but they've moved on. I think Steve Courtney did a nice little piece yesterday talking about the relationship, the long-term relationship that we've had, and it was a good one with the Lions, but business is business, and the two sides, the Lions and WJR, couldn't come to a meaningful agreement to carry on to a new contract. And so they will go back to where they were, I think, probably, and we will always still be supportive of them. Anything else going on?
Boy, who knows where to start? It is going to be a very busy news week, watching what happens in Congress on Wednesday. Tomorrow in Georgia, Wednesday Congress.
And don't forget COVID and the rollout of the vaccine. Lots of people wondering, when's my turn? Where do I go? What do I do?
Right.
So many questions about that.
And it's been rather slow. So will it pick up in the new
Slow
year?
rollout, very slow
Amazing. In Israel, they already did 1 million people in a little place like Israel.
Bahrain is ahead of us in the distribution of
This,
vaccine.
I'm afraid, as much as they don't want it to, this is going to fall upon the governors and the mayors, frankly, because they have the product. They're just not getting it out there. They're not using it, distributing it the way they obviously would hope to. It is 5:57 at WJR.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International.
It's a new year, but for kids in poverty around the world, things are still desperate. Join Compassion with your one-time $40 gift to provide a COVID relief kit to a family in poverty. Text the word GIVE to 83393. That's GIVE to 83393.
Yeah, let's check in our WJR traffic and weather first, and Miss Dana Clark.
Traffic First, sponsored by the Construction Association of Michigan. CAM has been helping commercial and industrial contractors and suppliers grow since 1885. Now is the time to join. Join the most powerful network of construction professionals in the state, the Construction Association of Michigan. Learn more at buildwithcam.com. That's buildwithcam.com. In St. Clair County, disabled vehicle blocking the right shoulder along 94 westbound after Division Road. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Primetime Testing Laboratory. They offer complete automotive testing services. Primetime guarantees on-time delivery, accurate result reporting, and are 2LA accredited. For your next automotive project, hire Primetime Testing Lab. Get a free quote at primetimetestinglab.com. That's primetimetestinglab.com. Very chilly start, the 4th of January, cloudy, 31 degrees, expecting a high of 34 today. We keep the clouds all day today. Looks like get a break from the snow showers tonight. Cloudy, those flurries or snow showers are possible. Your low 28 for Tuesday. Cloudy skies, once again, a few flurries or snow showers possible, and a high of 36. Once again, 31 degrees. I'm Dana Clark, WJR News with Marie Osborne in 2 minutes.
31. Wow. Okay. I got 34, but I'll go with 31.
Yeah, it's all in there.
So we're it's all in that same area.
All
right?
in there.
Certainly.
You know, it's interesting. One of our viewers, Mark, is asking, is the flu still around? I have a feeling that some of the things that we're doing to avoid COVID, they're helping us avoid the flu.
It
should. No doubt. Yeah. Washing your hands, which is something we've been a proponent of since we've been on the radio here, washing your hands often and well is going to help. Wearing those masks is something that helps.
Social distancing, staying away.
All the things that we're doing are definitely helping. And that's a good point. You don't hear about the flu so much. Well, of course, when you've got a much worse problem out there, at least we think a much worse problem out there with COVID, that kind of takes the top list, I guess.
But maybe these procedures in the future will be what we have to do for the flu. I mean, maybe we could really cut down on the trouble with the flu if in the wintertime moving forward, we did wear masks and, wash our hands.
In Japan, they've been doing it for years. To protect other people. That whole thing with Sir Anthony Fauci, he certainly has to have been knighted by now. Although the Queen might have been tied up watching The Crown.
Oh, right.
So she might not have gotten around to it yet. But Fauci it's a major disappointment, and he's already gotten the red carpet to go into the next administration. So he lied to save masks for the people who needed them. And I contend that if he just would have been honest with us and said, save the N95s, folks, for the people on the front line, but make a mask, and here's how you do that. You want to make sure you cover your nose and your mouth, blah, 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 whatever. He didn't do that, and I will forever remember that he did not do that, and that cost a lot of lives, frankly. Proving that we have too much time on our hands and some people have too much money Have you heard the latest thing that the celebrities are doing to try to help themselves?
No. What is it?
There is a frog that is in the Amazon. And when it gets scared, it secretes some chemicals on their skin. And so they take these frogs, these poor little frogs don't know what the hell's going on. And they take these frogs and they put them near fire, which scares the bejesus out of them. And they secrete all this stuff. And then they use those secretions at a very expensive rate of hundreds of dollars. And people get little sores on their arms, and they go to treat those sores with the secretions. And some people have died. And they pay good money to get sick and die. It's really unbelievable.
Yes, that's a good way to describe it. It's unbelievable.
Sickening frog toxins make you feel better, with a question mark. And then the headline from the New York Post, God bless them. I got to subscribe to this. just don't croak. Just don't croak.
Do come up with some good headlines.
For New Year's Day, they had a little baby kicking an old man out of the picture. That was 2021 kicking 2020 out. And I'm sure everybody related to that. That sad story about the plane crash and the Catholic Central family.
It's a terrible tragedy.
So close to home.
I know. I wonder what happened there.
Don't know. They have no idea, but obviously it'll be investigated and they'll tell us something. I don't know. I hope they didn't run out of fuel, or who knows. But there's always a reason. Planes just don't crash without a reason. And usually it's, if you'll recall, it's like 2 or 3 things go wrong.
Right.
It's not
and
like,
when you say close to home, you mean really close to home.
well, I mean,
right?
they
Wasn't
were
it like a half mile or something?
Yeah, half mile from the airport they were supposedly going to. So that was close. That was really close. I remember flying to Israel the first time on, what is it, El Al? Is that what? Yeah, that's their airline.
Right.
And I was invited up into the cockpit, which I thought was unusual because they had secure cockpits long before 9/11. Israel was very much into the security business. In fact, as we went down the runway to take off, there was a car, or like a van, that went alongside the airplane all the way down the runway. And I found out later they were security people.
Really?
Yes, they were with the plane until it took off. It was amazing. But I remember being in the cockpit and the pilot saying, "Here, you see this on the screen, the radar?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "No, you see this?" And there's this just a little dot in the midst of this whole thing. And I said, "Okay, yeah." He goes, "Well, that's us. That's Israel. And everyone around there wants us dead." I went, "Ooh, okay."
That's a good feeling.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. But the part that was scary was, back in those days, they had 3 people in the cockpit: the pilot, the co-pilot, and an engineer. And the engineer's job, as they explained it to me, was to balance the fuel from one wing to the other. Just they balanced the fuel. Who knew? But then he said, one pilot or co-pilot said to the other one, we're at 0 something something. And I said, "Excuse me, what does that mean?" And he said, "Well, we are committed to Ben Gurion Airport now. We don't have enough fuel to go to any of these side airports." Hey, I said, "What do you mean?"
The Paul W. Smith Show, News Talk 760,
We
WJR.
flew all the way from the United States to Israel with 10 minutes left of fuel.
Wow.
But that's, the way it was. In the midst of a conversation on this Monday morning, January 4th, Relentless Positive Radio is back, the 4th day of 2021. Happy New Year! Where's your little horn there, Daniel? There are 361 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. And we've got the team together. Marie Osborne handling our news duties. Thank you, Marie. She never stops working. You can hear her typing while we're talking because she's got to get her next newscast ready. And this is not rip and read radio. That's what we used to call it. People would just go into the UPI machine or the AP machine, rip it off, and then go in and read it, which would make for some humorous newscasts because, generally speaking, they didn't write well at UPI and AP, and the poor reporter would be in the middle of reading it and realize, this is not good. Anyway, Maria's here writing her news. Of course, Dana Clark is writing and making up her traffic and weather. Oh, I mean...
You know what?
Brian Morton pressing all the right buttons from the Golden Tower of the Fisher Building. Mike Kim is alongside with little notes here. 15 food trends you're going to see everywhere in 2021. I mentioned it's a National Spaghetti Day. And the 5, I can't wait to share this because I haven't seen it myself. The 5 worst foods for your brain. What's the first one?
Sweets.
French fries.
I was going to say French fries. Something fried. Yeah.
French fries.
So there we are. And of course, our executive producer running the show by the clock, Miss Ann Thomas.
Good morning, Dub. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Not a good beginning of the year for Larry King. He is reportedly in the hospital. They say recovering from COVID-19. How old is Larry? 87. 87 years old. And, he's not supposed to do well, but we've heard of more and more people, elderly people who have survived. We thought it was a death sentence initially, but that's not been the case, thank goodness, if you were of a certain age. And that's why in a lot of places they're getting people vaccinated, 65 and older or 70 and older, and well, they should. Initially, it was just people in nursing homes, but I hope they've expanded that. Do we know, Anne, if they've expanded that?
No, I think we're going to know more this week once we see a little bit more about the rollout. I think there's some confusion as to exactly how people are going to get vaccinated. People like your mom, my parents.
Yeah.
Now, they said the health department is saying that they have, they're going to engage through a massive public campaign, like a media campaign. But what was interesting, last Tuesday, the governor had a little press conference before the holiday. And at that time, she said that there were 71,000 people who had been vaccinated in Michigan. Again, that's about a week ago, 71,000. But to date, the state was reporting that they had 250,000 doses of the vaccine. So reporters were asking, why is there this difference between the number of doses that are in the state and the ones that are actually in people's arms now? Right. So they, and Dr. Caldoon said, that she planned to speak to the providers. We're talking big medical providers like Beaumont and Henry Ford and so forth on how they're rolling out the vaccines. It just seems like there's a disconnect somewhere.
Yeah, it's not rolling out the way everyone hoped it would be. It's not because they don't have the vaccinations. Right. They do. But here's the other problem, and I'm sure they're working on it and thinking about it. Let's say we get up to what we should be, and I don't know what we should be in terms of numbers. We have to stop at a certain number to make sure that in 21 days, we have enough to go and give those other people that have already gotten the shots the second shot, or we wasted the vaccination.
Exactly.
I mean, think about that. So it's really, it was great we got the vaccine as quickly as we did, for fastest in the history of mankind, but we haven't caught up with how to do all these things as well as we should, I think. I'm sure they're working on it at this point. So Brian Morton gave me cuts from the president on the phone. Was that yesterday or the day before? Whatever it was, he was on the phone with the Georgia folks trying to get them to recount or say they needed a recount or disavow what they had or whatever it might be. I can't tell exactly what he says in these cuts. So And again, I say we don't even ask anymore how anybody could get such a good quality cut of the president on the phone. At this point, if he was ordering a pizza, I would suspect we can get that cut too. Nothing is private in the Oval Office with this president anymore. So I don't know exactly how they did it, but Stewart is telling us that he has a 99-year-old grandmother who has, excuse me, recovered from COVID. 99.
Oh,
Give him
wonderful.
hell, Grandma. That's fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
And Patrick says fake news French fries are fine. Oh, okay. All right. All right, if you say so, Patrick. These doctors apparently say not. Although here's the thing that I just heard somebody say, if you drink 2 cups of hot chocolate a day, it's going to help your brain function and help stave off senility and such. And yet the second item on the 5 worst foods for your brain, according to doctors, chocolates, hot cocoa, and cocoa powder.
Oh, goodness.
We were told chocolate's good for us.
Get rid of that list.
Right.
Yeah, we don't like
Makes
that
us-
list.
Yeah, this is bad.
We don't like that list.
They say soda and other sugary drinks are not good for you. Alcohol and diet soda. I've been against diet soda for the longest time. It's not good for you. It's bad for you. If you're going to drink any soda, drink regular soda. You probably shouldn't drink any total sugar water. But anyway, be that as it may. Where was I? Cuts from Donald Trump. Brian, I don't know. This says ballots and machines. Let's just hear the cuts. Cut one.
Do you think it's possible that they shredded ballots in Fulton County? Because that's what the rumor is. And also that Dominion took out machines. That Dominion is really moving fast to get rid of their machinery.
And I guess we don't have the guy on the other end of the line, the Republican Georgian guy in charge of elections, saying, no, they didn't take out their machines. They didn't. And no, everything seems fine, Mr. President. That's a tough position to be in. Anyway, I still amazed. I now understand how we got the recording. He's shouting so loud, people could stand outside and record it. They could be outside a window in the Rose Garden. Although I don't think you're supposed to be in the Rose Garden at the White House unless you've been invited there to get COVID. It is heading towards 6:14 at WJR.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International.
It's a new year, but for kids in poverty around the world, things are still desperate. Join Compassion with your one-time $40 gift to provide a COVID relief kit to a family in poverty. Text the word GIVE to 83393. That's GIVE to 83393.
Coming up, sadly, our last regularly scheduled conversation with Mary Kramer from Crane's Detroit Business. We'll explain in just a moment. Meanwhile, our WJR Traffic and Weather first, and Miss Dana Clark.
Meanwhile, Paul W. still seeing that disabled vehicle blocking the right shoulder in St. Clair County, 94 westbound after Division Road. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by the Mechanical Contractors Association of Detroit. When your commercial, industrial, public, or residential project calls for plumbers, pipe fitters, or HVAC service technicians, the Mechanical Contractors Association of Detroit connects you with the very best, highly skilled and trained union contractors to get started on your next project. Visit mcadetroit.org.
Not a whole lot of change in our weather here. Lots of clouds as we head through much of the week. A few flurries or a light snow shower here or there, and temperatures generally in the 30s. Cloudy today, highs in the low to mid 30s. Cloudy tonight, a few flurries or a light snow shower, 28. Cloudy tomorrow with a few flurries, mid 30s. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ken Boone on News Talk 760 WJR.
Hello and welcome to Spotlight on the MEDC.